The mighty naval ship Intrepid had been a symbol of strength for years, but now it was stranded in the middle of the ocean. Its complex engine had malfunctioned in a way that no one could figure out. The best engineers and specialists were called on board, but even their combined expertise couldn't get the engine back to life. Time was running out, the ship needed to be operational to complete its critical mission. As frustration grew among the experts, the ship's admiral received a message from headquarters. It was a recommendation to call in a retired Navy veteran named Captain James Harper, a man known for his unconventional methods and sharp instincts. Though some were skeptical about involving someone outside the official engineering team, the admiral trusted the veteran's reputation. Captain Harper arrived quietly, carrying only a small toolbox and a calm confidence. Unlike the others, he didn't rush to examine the engine with fancy gadgets or complicated theories. Instead, he took his time, listening to the crew's observations and studying the engine's sounds and vibrations carefully. The engineers watched in disbelief as Harper walked around the engine room, seemingly relying on nothing but his experience and intuition. Slowly, the veteran began to point out issues others had missed, subtle signs of wear, unusual noises, and hidden blockages. His insight gave the team a fresh perspective, and hope started to return. Captain Harper's careful observations quickly turned into decisive action. He instructed the crew to remove certain panels and replace worn-out parts that hadn't been on any maintenance checklist. Unlike the standard procedures followed by the engineers, Harper's approach was hands-on and practical, shaped by years of real-life experience rather than just theory. He discovered a tiny but critical flaw deep within the engine's core, a misaligned valve that was causing a ripple effect, shutting down the entire system. The specialists had overlooked this because it was hidden behind layers of machinery and required a precise touch to access. With steady hands and clear commands, Harper led the repair team through a delicate operation that tested their patience and skills. Every step had to be perfect, one wrong move could cause irreparable damage. As hours passed, the tension on the ship grew palpable. The crew waited anxiously, hoping that this veteran's unconventional method would work where the experts had failed. Finally, with a satisfying roar, the engine sputtered to life. Power surged through the ship, systems rebooted, and the Intrepid was ready to sail again. The admiral and crew erupted in cheers, grateful for the man who had saved them from disaster. Captain Harper simply smiled, packed his toolbox, and quietly prepared to leave, his mission accomplished. With the Intrepid's engine restored, the ship resumed its mission without delay. The successful repair not only saved the day but also renewed the crew's faith in perseverance and experience. Captain Harper's arrival and quick thinking had proven that sometimes, the answer isn't in the newest technology or the most advanced theories but in the wisdom earned through years of hands-on work. In the days that followed, the admiral held a special meeting with the engineering team. He emphasized the importance of balancing technical knowledge with practical insight, and encouraged the specialists to learn from Harper's approach, to be open to unconventional ideas and not rely solely on manuals or formulas. Captain Harper stayed on board for a short time, mentoring the younger crew members and sharing stories from his career. His calm demeanor and no-nonsense attitude inspired everyone, reminding them that confidence and attention to detail can overcome even the toughest challenges. News of the ship's miraculous recovery spread quickly through the naval fleet, earning Harper respect and admiration far beyond his years of service. The veteran's legacy became a symbol of humility, expertise, and the power of teamwork. As the Intrepid sailed steadily toward its next mission, the crew knew one thing for sure: sometimes, the greatest heroes come when you least expect them, and it's their experience that can turn the tide in moments of crisis. The story of the Intrepid and its broken engine became more than just a tale of mechanical failure and repair, it became a lesson in leadership, trust, and humility. Captain James Harper's involvement reminded everyone on board and beyond that success often depends on recognizing the value of diverse perspectives. The admiral personally recommended that Harper be honored for his crucial role. At a formal ceremony weeks later, the veteran was awarded a special commendation, but he accepted it with modesty. For Harper, the real reward was seeing the ship sail strong and knowing the crew was safer because of his efforts. Back in the engine room, the crew made lasting changes inspired by Harper's methods. They began combining traditional engineering with practical experience, creating new training programs that prepared future sailors for challenges that no manual could predict. Captain Harper himself chose to retire again quietly, but the Navy kept in touch, often consulting him for advice on tough cases. His story became required reading for new recruits, a symbol of how patience, keen observation, and hands-on know-how could outperform even the most sophisticated technology. Years later, when the Intrepid returned from a successful mission, many crew members reflected on that critical moment when hope seemed lost. They often spoke of the unassuming veteran who walked aboard, turned the impossible into reality, and showed them all the true meaning of resilience. In the end, the Intrepid didn't just sail because of repairs, it sailed because a team learned to listen, adapt, and trust in the power of experience, a legacy that would guide the fleet for generations to come. The success story of the Intrepid and Captain Harper's intervention sparked a shift in the Navy's approach to problem-solving and maintenance. Commanders across the fleet began encouraging collaboration between seasoned veterans and the latest generation of engineers. The Navy launched initiatives to capture the invaluable knowledge of retired personnel, ensuring that experience was passed down alongside technical training. Captain Harper became a key figure in this movement. Though he preferred a quiet life, he agreed to lead workshops and training sessions, sharing real-world insights that no textbook could offer. His straightforward, practical style resonated deeply with young sailors, many of whom had been taught to rely heavily on technology but now saw the critical importance of intuition and hands-on skills. The shipyard where the Intrepid was repaired also adopted new protocols inspired by Harper's approach. Routine maintenance was expanded to include detailed inspections for hidden faults, and crews were trained to recognize subtle signs of wear and potential failures early. Meanwhile, the Admiral championed the idea that success in complex missions required more than just state-of-the-art equipment. He often said in briefings, technology is vital, but it's the people, their experience, their judgment, that ultimately keep us afloat. The Intrepid itself became a floating classroom, hosting mixed teams of veterans and young engineers working side by side. This partnership not only enhanced the ship's readiness but also fostered a culture of respect and learning that strengthened the entire fleet. Years down the line, when the Intrepid faced new challenges, whether mechanical, tactical, or human, the crew tackled them with confidence. They knew that success came from blending fresh knowledge with seasoned wisdom, a lesson rooted in that critical moment when an unexpected veteran saved their ship. Captain Harper's story continued to inspire, a reminder that in every challenge lies an opportunity for growth, and that sometimes, the best solutions come from listening to those who've weathered the storms before. Captain Harper's remarkable success aboard the Intrepid did more than just influence his own ship and crew, it sparked a wave of change throughout the entire naval community and beyond. News of his hands-on approach and ability to solve what many considered an unsolvable problem quickly spread to other branches of the military and even to civilian maritime industries. Several shipyards and naval bases began inviting Harper to consult on their most challenging cases. His reputation grew as a man who could see what others missed, not because of advanced tools or theory, but because of decades of first-hand experience. He emphasized simple but powerful principles: listen carefully, observe thoroughly, and never underestimate the value of patience. These lessons transcended mechanics. Commanders reported that the veterans' approach inspired new leadership styles, ones that valued input from all ranks, encouraged creative problem-solving, and fostered teamwork across generations. Universities and technical schools incorporated Harper's story into their curriculums, using it as a case study in practical engineering and leadership courses. Students learned that knowledge wasn't just about memorizing facts, but about cultivating curiosity, resilience, and respect for experience. In the private sector, shipping companies and offshore operations began to adopt similar philosophies, blending cutting-edge technology with the insight of seasoned professionals. Many credited this balanced approach with reducing downtime and increasing safety in their fleets. Back on the Intrepid, the crew often gathered to recount the story of how their ship was saved. They spoke of Captain Harper not just as a skilled technician but as a mentor and symbol of hope during a desperate time. His influence endured long after he stepped off the ship for the final time. The veteran's legacy lived on in the culture he helped build, a culture that reminded everyone that even in an age of rapid technological change, the wisdom of experience remains an irreplaceable asset. Years after that fateful day aboard the Intrepid, the naval fleet had fully embraced the lessons learned from Captain Harper's intervention. The blend of modern technology and seasoned expertise had become the new standard, improving not only ship performance but also crew morale and safety. Captain Harper, now regarded as a living legend, had quietly transitioned into a role as an advisor and trainer for various naval units. His workshops were filled with eager sailors and engineers who valued the practical wisdom he shared, stories from his time at sea, problem-solving techniques, and the importance of patience under pressure. Beyond the Navy, Harper's approach began influencing other fields. Emergency response teams, aerospace engineers, and even medical professionals looked to his philosophy of combining deep experience with innovation to tackle their own complex challenges. Meanwhile, the Intrepid continued its missions with a renewed sense of purpose. The ship was outfitted with cutting-edge systems, but its crew never forgot the moment when a humble veteran brought their vessel back from the brink. That story was passed down to every new sailor who joined, becoming a rite of passage and a source of inspiration. In quiet moments, Captain Harper would reflect on his journey. He knew that his greatest achievement wasn't the repairs themselves, but the lasting impact on the people and the culture around him. His legacy was a testament to the power of humility, dedication, and the unyielding belief that experience, when respected, can solve even the toughest problems. As new generations set sail into the future, they carried with them not just the technology of today but the enduring lessons of a man who proved that sometimes, the most brilliant solutions come from those who listen closely and act wisely. The legacy of Captain Harper's intervention aboard the Intrepid continued to resonate deeply within the naval community. As technology advanced at an unprecedented pace, many feared that the human element might be lost, but Harper's story reminded everyone that behind every machine was a person whose knowledge and judgment were irreplaceable. Naval academies began to prioritize mentorship programs, pairing seasoned veterans with fresh recruits. These programs emphasized the importance of learning not only from books and simulations but also from real-world experience. Stories of Harper's calm under pressure, his keen observational skills, and his ability to think creatively in crisis became central teaching points. Moreover, Harper's approach encouraged a culture shift toward humility and openness. Crew members were taught to respect all voices, regardless of rank or background, fostering an environment where solutions could come from anywhere. This inclusive mindset strengthened teamwork and ultimately improved mission success rates. In parallel, research and development teams started collaborating more closely with field experts, ensuring that new technologies were designed with practical use in mind. Engineers and sailors worked hand in hand, blending innovation with the lessons learned from years at sea. The Intrepid itself became a symbol of this balanced philosophy. During annual commemorations, the crew would gather to honor the moment when their ship's fate was turned by a veteran's steady hands and sharp mind. These ceremonies reinforced the belief that experience, combined with technology, created an unbeatable force. Captain Harper's influence even reached beyond the military. Industries dealing with complex systems, from aviation to energy, adopted similar strategies, recognizing that seasoned professionals brought crucial insights that technology alone could not replace. In an age of rapid change, the story of the Intrepid and its unlikely hero served as a powerful reminder: while machines might evolve, the strength of human experience remains the foundation of true success. As the years progressed, the Navy fully embraced the powerful synergy between cutting-edge technology and time-honed expertise that Captain Harper's story had exemplified. New ships were built with advanced systems designed not only for efficiency but also for ease of maintenance by crews trained in both theory and practice. The lessons from the Intrepid incident were integrated into every aspect of naval operations. Captain Harper's influence extended beyond immediate repairs. He became a catalyst for cultural transformation. His philosophy encouraged adaptability, a willingness to question assumptions, to blend tradition with innovation, and to value the contributions of every crew member. This mindset helped the Navy navigate not just mechanical challenges, but strategic ones as well, strengthening its readiness in an ever-changing world. Veterans who had once been sidelined found new purpose as mentors and advisors, bridging the gap between generations. This mentorship program became a cornerstone of naval training, fostering respect and collaboration. Young officers learned to appreciate the practical knowledge that could only come from years at sea, while experienced sailors gained fresh perspectives from the latest scientific advances. The Intrepid continued to sail as a flagship of this new era, a living testament to resilience and teamwork. Its crews faced new challenges, from complex missions in hostile environments to humanitarian efforts during crises, always equipped with the combined power of technology and seasoned insight. Captain Harper, though no longer aboard the ship, remained a revered figure. He often spoke about the importance of humility and continuous learning. No matter how advanced our tools become, he would say, it's the people behind them who make the difference. Experience teaches us to listen carefully, think critically, and act decisively. His story inspired countless individuals to value patience, observation, and practical wisdom. It reminded them that in moments of uncertainty, the greatest strength lies in combining the best of the past with the promise of the future. As the Navy looked ahead, it did so with confidence, knowing that whatever challenges awaited, the spirit of teamwork, respect for experience, and openness to innovation would guide them through. The impact of Captain Harper's intervention on the Intrepid extended far beyond a single ship or moment in time. It fostered a lasting culture within the naval community, one that valued collaboration, respect, and the melding of diverse talents and experiences. Years after the engine was repaired, the Intrepid sailed through challenging waters and complex missions with a crew that had internalized these lessons deeply. The veterans and young sailors worked seamlessly together, blending old-school intuition with modern technology, each relying on the other's strengths. The Navy's leadership recognized that the true power of their fleet didn't lie solely in advanced machinery or weaponry, but in the people who operated, maintained, and cared for those machines. This recognition led to significant investments in training programs that fostered mentorship and knowledge sharing, ensuring that no valuable insight was lost over time. Captain Harper's philosophy also influenced naval leadership styles. Commanders learned to listen more attentively to their crews, encouraging open communication and valuing feedback at all levels. This shift not only improved operational effectiveness but also boosted morale and loyalty. The story of the Intrepid's crisis and salvation became a treasured part of naval tradition, recounted in training halls and mess rooms alike. It served as a constant reminder that success in the most difficult situations often depended on teamwork, patience, and the courage to trust in one another. As new generations stepped aboard the Intrepid and other ships, they carried forward this spirit. They understood that while technology would continue to evolve, it was their shared experience, collaboration, and respect for each other that would keep their ships afloat and their mission successful. Captain Harper's legacy was not just in the repairs he made, but in the people he inspired, a legacy that would endure through every storm and challenge the fleet might face in the years to come. The legacy of Captain James Harper's pivotal role aboard the Intrepid became a cornerstone of naval culture and leadership. What started as a single moment of crisis transformed into a movement that reshaped how the Navy approached challenges, training, and teamwork. In the years following the repair, naval academies revamped their curricula to include not only the latest in engineering and technology but also the lessons learned from Harper's example, the importance of intuition, hands-on experience, and patience. His story was studied as a model of problem-solving and leadership, emphasizing that success often depends on the delicate balance between knowledge and wisdom. The Navy also launched initiatives to actively involve retired veterans in mentoring roles, ensuring that their wealth of practical experience continued to guide new generations. This created a living bridge between the past and the future, allowing the fleet to evolve without losing sight of the foundational values that had kept it strong for decades. On board the Intrepid, the culture shifted permanently. Every sailor, from the newest recruit to the most senior officer, carried with them the understanding that they were part of something greater than just a ship or a mission. They were custodians of a legacy built on trust, resilience, and the power of collective knowledge. Captain Harper, though he had stepped away from active duty, remained a respected advisor. His influence extended beyond the Navy, inspiring leaders in various industries to embrace a holistic approach to problem-solving, one that values both cutting-edge innovation and the irreplaceable insights gained through years of experience. The Intrepid itself became more than a ship. It was a symbol of perseverance and the human spirit's capacity to overcome adversity through collaboration and respect. Its voyages carried stories of determination and the triumph of practical wisdom, reminding everyone that true strength lies not just in machines or technology, but in the people who operate them. As the fleet sailed forward into new challenges and uncharted waters, the legacy of that unexpected Navy veteran lived on, quietly guiding and inspiring all who served. The story of Captain Harper and the Intrepid remained a beacon, a testament to the enduring power of experience, humility, and teamwork in shaping a brighter future. Looking back, the day when the Intrepid's engine broke down wasn't just a crisis, it was a turning point. The moment Captain James Harper stepped aboard, carrying nothing but his experience and quiet confidence, everything changed. What had seemed like an impossible problem was solved not by the latest technology or the most advanced engineers, but by a man who trusted his instincts and valued practical wisdom. His steady hands and sharp mind saved the ship, but more importantly, they saved the crew's spirit. That day became a legend, a story told and retold to inspire hope, courage, and teamwork. It reminded everyone that true strength doesn't come from machines or titles, but from the people who refuse to give up, who listen carefully, and who work together to overcome any obstacle. The Intrepid sailed on, stronger and wiser, carrying with it the legacy of a veteran who showed that sometimes, the greatest hero isn't the one with the flashiest tools, but the one who simply knows how to get the job done. And so, the story ended, not with the closing of a chapter, but with the beginning of a new era, where experience and innovation sail side by side, guiding the fleet toward a future built on trust, resilience, and unity.